know, the challenge most times with academics is how to prepare PowerPoint presentations and even how to make the presentation. But we can, as we all agree, most of what we do today, our everyday lives have to do with presentation, even in interviews, because the world is now more like a global village. You don't even need to travel all the way to wherever to do interviews here. So you can be interviewed remotely. And the only way you can do very well is by using presentations. And so it is important that we add that to our skills, even as we pursue our postgraduate programs. And that is why this is very, very important for us. So once again, you're welcome. We are going to go straight into the presentation. So permit me to share my slide so that okay. I'm sure I can see the slide now.
Yes, yes, we can.
Okay. Okay. So, just for in case we have not met before, my name is Mike Ondunayo Hembas from the Department of Chemistry, of course, Environmental Sustainability, where my affiliations are, and we'll be taking you on a quick guide on an effective seminar and PowerPoint presentation. So, one of the challenges, one of the very big challenges why presentation fail, most of the presentations, why they fail, is one, too much text. You see, most presentation, if you agree with me, I'm sure you'll be attending seminars, even in the university here. So you agree with me that most presentations, most time the presenters just pour out a lot of slides. I mean, wordings in the PowerPoint. Sometimes we make comments such as it's a word point, not a PowerPoint. And so the presentation is likely to fail if it's filled with so much text. Sometimes people are scared that they may forget things, so they just pack all kinds of things and pour there and begin to look at them and read aloud to the audience. This will make your presentation fail. So secondly, poor structure. Once you have a presentation to make, you have to look at the structure. How am I going to arrange my presentation? How do I need to get to the audience? And so the structure is very, very important. So if you have a poor structure, you are likely going to fail in your presentation. Also, delivery. Now, once you stand on the stage, most PG students, presenters, when they stand in front of people, the audience to present, I don't know, sometimes fear. Sometimes we even had a scenario where somebody went to present and he was just busy behaving as if it's a child's play, or showing all kind of gestures and stuff. So your delivery has to be very strong. You have to be to be in charge. You have to own what you are delivering. And once it is weak, you are likely going to fail. Also, no audience focus. You have a presentation to make to market women, and then you go and you are pouring all kinds of texts. And I mean, the people you are dealing with, the audience, your presentation must focus, target the audience. So depending on the audience, I give you an example. It's just like you were nominated to go and speak to market women, maybe, let's say in a village, in a tea village, in an interior tea village, for example. And when you go there, most of the people you see there, they are thief people. And you go there and start speaking English. Trust me, it will be very difficult for you to pass the message. So it will be easier to look for someone that can speak their local dialect and they understand better. So that's an example of targeting the audience. So your presentation must focus on the audience. Um, so uh, once these mistakes are made, your presentation is most likely to fail. And this is why most of the presentation fail. So you start with before you start, you have the 2W1H approach. The 2W, the 2W, yes. What do you want to present? This is the question you must ask yourself. What do you want to present? What is your message? And so the second W, who are you presenting to? Who are the people are you presenting this to? And then the third one, which is one H, the 1H now, how? How do you make this presentation to achieve the aim? It is different when you are making a presentation with your mates. It is different when you are making a presentation to your students. It is different when you are making a presentation to your colleagues. And it's different when you are making a presentation for an interview. It is different when you are making a presentation to give an update in a company where you're working. These kind of presentations are different because the audiences are all different. In each scenario, the audience is unique. So you need to target your presentation to meet the intended audience and to achieve, of course, the aim of your presentation. Now, you have to know your audience. And this is what we've said even before in the last slide. You have to know your audience. So who are this audience? Who are they? Are they students? Are they experts? Or mixed audience? If they are, then you focus your presentation to capture all of these people. So if it's just students, you know how to make the presentation to capture them. And then we have experts, of course, you see how I can go in deeper and so that you have a good delivery. And so expectations and background knowledge. If there is a student, you know their expectations and you have a background knowledge of the students and what they are exposed to and the kind of things they are not exposed to and what is new and what are the new things they're expecting from your presentation. Now, that has to do with the prior background and knowledge. Now, you design slides for them, not for yourself. This is one other very important point. Most of the PG students, when they design slides, they design them as though they are for themselves. And so some people cannot even allow others to look at them. Normally, when you design slides, you can allow someone else to look at them and scrutinize and criticize, and vet. Sometimes spellings, errors, and the structural issues, they can be raised and you can make your presentations better. So most importantly, your slides should not be designed for you, but for your audience. Now you know your audience. It is time for the presentation. What do? You have to show passion. One other big challenge with postgraduate studies or academic engagements, one of the biggest challenges, people are not ready to work. This is the truth. Even if we don't like it, we don't like hearing it, this is the truth. This is the reality. You have somebody doing a postgraduate program, and it come to present something that he has no idea of. Pay people to do the work for them, And so in the diving, sometimes people even prepare the slides for them. So they come and just pour it and, you know, nothing to explain. And so they just stay there, no passion. It's like take it or leave it. And, this is a challenge. So you must show passion. So normally I encourage students, even me, if someone is assisting you to do your work, you have to follow the person and know what is going on. What do you mean here? Why did this happen? Why is this? You have to show that passion. You have to own your work. So when you own your work and you show passion in your presentation, you are going to pass the information, the knowledge, and the message more clearly. So focus. You have to focus in your presentation. Focus here has to do with a lot of things, time management, and you avoid ambiguous and distractions. For example, you are making a presentation uh, on something else, and I mean, let's say in our case, in most scenarios, we deal with the scientific presentations, and so you go into divert to involve something. It's okay to tell stories and make people smile and laugh, but you have to focus on the message, the main message of your presentation, so that you don't deviate completely from what you are presenting. Sometimes during your presentations, some people will try to ask you questions in the middle of the presentation. No, it is not acceptable, but sometimes you are not in control of what the other people are doing. So this may happen. Even if that happens, don't lose focus. Calm down. You can respond. Though for our seminars, of course, we will not accept that. When such interruptions happen, we can call such people to order so that you continue. But there are some people, once you ask them questions in the middle of their presentation, the focus is deviated completely and they struggle to recover. So you have to, 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 to keep that in mind and see how you can manage the situations when such thing happen. Now, keep it simple. Most people like ambiguous things. They think when you make it ambiguous, you make it voluminous, and then it means the person has work. No, 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 no. You have to keep it simple. Keep it simple. Albert Einstein once said, if you cannot explain to a 5-year-old whatever you've done, then you have not done anything. You don't know it. Uh, I once attended an interview in a very high-profile organization, and I was asked to explain something. I think it had to do with some medicinal applications of some nanomaterial. Say, okay, explain this to a 5-year-old. How would you explain this to a 5-year-old? So whatever you are doing, no matter how complicated it looks, one question should come to your mind. How do I explain this to a 5-year-old? Now, most of scientific discoveries were voluminous kind of works and very complicated kind of calculations. But the explanation in textbooks or the definition of the laws or the statement of the laws are quite simple. I give an example. You hear that Pauli exclusion principle, for example, says it is impossible to have the same set of 4 quantum numbers for 2 electrons in an orbital. This is simple. The statement is simple. But if you go and look at how these were arrived at, the real work that happened to arrive at this, it is complicated. So you imagine Pauli coming to a Congress to tell people all the jargons, they will not understand. And so you have to try to keep it simple. And so you smile and maintain eye contact. Most of the presenters just face the board. They come when they are presenting, they just face the board and forget about the audience and keep reading aloud from the PowerPoint. This is not a good strategy, and this will make your presentation fail. So most importantly, when you start your presentation, you start very strongly. When you start strongly, we pay attention. For example, I made a presentation somewhere and I started with a statement. Cancer remains the most deadliest disease. after cardiovascular complications. You know, anywhere in the world, once cancer is mentioned, everybody is scared and everybody wants to listen. So you make a very strong statement and explain. Try to catch people's attention and keep eye contact. Don't neglect your audience. Don't turn your back on them. Don't face the PowerPoints. Face your audience, maintain your eye contact and let the slides just be an addendum to what you are presenting. The actual presentation should come from you, should come from the passion and focus and simplicity of your arrangement. So tell stories, tell stories, tell people your experiences which relationships as it relates to what you're presenting. So this way you make a very good presentation. So voice effectively. Some people talk to when they are making presentation, you have to keep reminding them that add volume, add volume. We can't hear you, we can't hear you. Please, this is not a good strategy. And then body gestures. You know, what most students fail to understand is that most of the presentation, the academic presentations in the universities or in the institutions are examinations. They are examinations. So people, you are being scored in most cases. They're scoring you. So you can't just be giving some body gestures, kind of. You are allowed. You are like you can have your bottle water, for example, even you're thirsty, you can take it. It's okay. That is allowed. But don't overdo it. Don't overdo it because it will not be very interesting if you abuse that. And then you have to relax and enjoy your presentation. Relax. It is your work. You are the owner of the work. Show ownership. My supervisor in Zaria, and if you tell me then that at the beginning of every research, the supervisor know more than the student because of the supervisor's experience. But at the end of the research, the student know more than the supervisor on that subject matter, on what they have done. And if this is not the case, then research has not happened. So relax, enjoy. It is your work. It is your research. So you are the one that know it best. We can only question the science, but the actual work, you did it. So relax and enjoy your presentation. Sorry, I am making emphasis on your work, because at the end of your program, you are going to write. All of you are going to write a project, and you're going to submit a final copy of a project. Plus, probably you'll be asked to make a presentation of what you have done. So this is why I keep stressing your work, your work, your work. So now you define your message. Define your message. The presentation has to have, you need to have one central idea. And then the central idea will have a clear objective, very clear objective. And then there's a logical flow of this objective. You can see in the photo here, this is a conference room. Most students, once they enter the room, they lose themselves. I have a student, a PhD student who in front of me would explain very well what he was doing. I called him, he explained all that he's doing very well, and I was very confident of him. But to my greatest surprise, this fellow stood in front of the crowd to make his presentation for a proposal, and he couldn't deliver. So stage fright is one of the issues, but you have to deal with that because academic presentation is part of academic culture. So you cannot run away from it. Even outside academic, everything now has to do with presentation. Even if you want to apply for a grant, a scholarship, you have to make a presentation. So it is part of it. An interview, go for an interview, you make a presentation. They say make a presentation. So you have to be part of it. I remember when I was in Bayes University, I was called for an interview in Bayes University in Abuja. Yes, we all know Bayes is one of the most standard universities, private universities in the country. So when we went there, we were told to make a presentation. Just the question was, okay, prepare a 15 slides presentation, make using any topic of your choice. And then you sit there in front of a computer, no internet, you just make a presentation from off heart. And when you are done, you go and face a panel of professors, deans, and make a presentation. So you look in this kind of situation now, your presentation is targeting the target audience are your superiors. They are professors, they are people that have diverse background, you know. So you have to make this presentation. And ladies and gentlemen, this was the basis for the employment in that university. And this was an interesting and experience. And so because we are used to this, because we're in ABU Zaria, for example, we were taught to do this constantly. Presentation was part of the culture. So in fact, as a PG student, you must make a presentation to your supervisor every week. Even when I was in Europe, every week, Mondays, you make presentation. Monday to Friday, you do your work in the lab. But on Monday for the following week, you make a presentation of the past week for what you have made. So this is the culture around the world. So we don't have a choice. You don't know to make how to make presentations, no problem. You don't have you don't commit a crime. But if you are not making effort to know, then that is the problem. So this is not to say that what we are saying here is the absolute. No, but it's a guide, it's an idea, it's an eye-opener to see how you can make your presentations better. Because if you follow this, what we are saying here, you can make your presentation look better and much more interesting. So, like I said, one central idea, clear objectives, logical flow. This will make your presentation very, very interesting. Now, content. Content. For an academic presentation, like in most of our cases or scenarios, we begin with introduction. Now, introduction has to do with background, problem statement, and aim. And even in the aim, you can have, in the aim, we have also objectives. So some students say aims. Please, for every research, there's a single aim. There's only one aim for every research. So we don't have such thing as aims. So it is aim, but objectives. This is the aim. I aim to do this, but these are the objectives of how I'm going to arrive at my aim. So this is how it's done. Then methods, new, are they new, adopted methods, modifications, identifications, instrumentation, techniques? These are reported also. This can take a single slide, for example. And then for the results, yeah, most time what students do is they wait till the final minute, they now pack, they go to their MS Word document and copy all what is there and dump on the PowerPoint. This is not acceptable. This is not acceptable. Then when they come to present, they begin to read aloud what is written there. This is not acceptable. Everybody, audience, they can read, they can write. So if you are coming to read what is on the slide for your audience, then there was no point. There's no point standing there or saying anything. Just leave the power of the slide and people will read. So you own your work, have passion, put passion in it, like I've said, and do the delivery perfectly. So for the results, you have visuals, use graphics, charts, images, spectra, chromatograms, notable highlights, inferences, justification. So instead of packing your results, sometimes you see students prepare a PowerPoint for exit seminar and you see things like results, and then you see things like discussion. No, you present the results in graphics, visuals, charts, images, spectra. If it's FTIR, show us the spectra. If it's chromatogram, show us the chromatograms and show us what is happening there and explain what does the implications of what is happening in those spectra or images as the case may be. Those are a discussion. That is your discussion. There's no need to put in another heading saying discussion. No, you are just creating more problems so that you want to copy discussions from the work to come and add to the PowerPoint. No, just present the PowerPoint, present the graphs, the charts, and See, explain them as you're explaining. That means the discussion of your result, and that is the best way to do it. So for conclusion, you link the conclusion to the aim. What have you found out? You link into the aim. So for the recommendations, you state the limitations and prospects. So once you follow this path, you are likely going to have a very good PowerPoint presentation. But most importantly, not to forget, please, you cannot copy your MS Word work, your thesis from your MS Word and dump in on the PowerPoint for presentation. This is not acceptable. And this is one of the reasons why our academic presentations at our universities are very, very poor and they fail. So some of us also are victims of this thing. We probably growing up, we didn't know we did some of these things. But now, like I said, you don't know, there's no problem. But if you are not making effort to know, this is the problem. So we are here to make efforts so that you know, and this is why we are trying to educate and try to give you insights on how to make the presentations better. It might not necessarily be the university here. Maybe you can finish. Everybody that starts a program, if you are committed, you will finish the program. I think the most important thing and challenge is post your program. After the program, what happens? How you begin to apply what you have learned during your program in your everyday life. That is the most important thing. So it is also true that some people read physics, some read chemistry, some read environmental courses, all kinds of courses, but they're not practicing exactly what they read. This is true. But at least you are doing it means you should do it well. So please, this can form the structure of how your presentation will look like. And this way, it will be much interesting, I believe, to the audience. Now, fonts. Normally, there are certain fonts that are not very good for presentation. And there are some, depending on the font and the size. So the size is also important. Some people make it tiny. You make it so tiny that you cannot even read. We had a situation where a student was presenting and the thing was the wordings were so much on the slide and he couldn't even read himself. He was trying to read there. At some point, he was even asking the audience, I beg you, what is there? What is there? You know, this is this is not acceptable. So please choose your font type wisely. Best kind of font size and type, style and size. We have sans serif or Calibri or Times New Roman, and so you can see the examples here. For the Times New Romans, you see the first one. For the sans serif, you see, and then for the Calibri, you see. So these ones are very well recommended for making your PowerPoint. So now, some rule of thumb. We have what is called the Guy Kawasaki of Apple rule. So the rule says 10, 20, 30 rule. 20, 20, 30 rule. It's just a rule of thumb. You might not strictly adhere to the rule, but something close to the rule. So the slide should not contain not more than 10 slides. Your presentation should not be more than 10 slides. Where I did my programs for MSc, maximum for MSc is 13 slides. Maximum for MSc presentation, 13 slides. Maximum for a PGD is 10 slides. And then maximum for a PhD is 30 slides. Yes, that Sedon Kyun, you raise your hand?
Yes, sir. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Yes, you talked about the font face. You didn't talk about the font size. So please,
I'm going to mention that.
It's all right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Don't worry. We're going to say all of that. So Now, just to mention the minimum font size, the minimum should be around 2024, 20 and 24, this minimum. And once you go below 20, even you will struggle to look at. Even if you are having a gigantic, what do you call, uh, uh, there's some, is that?
Projector or board?
Yes, projector, yeah. Projector is a term. Even if you have a gigantic one, it's difficult. It's begin to struggle. But when you have this, the font size that is a bit, it's even stated here, the slide should not be more than 10, and then last no more than 20 minutes. Presentation should not be more than 20 minutes. Uh, Even here, as we're presenting, just because the time says we have the lecture between 9 and 11. So I'm taking my time to see how we can fall in between within this time. We can use the time. If not, a normal presentation, once it's more than 20 minutes, it's boring. I don't know if any of you know why. In our secondary schools, we were told that one class, a single class is 40 minutes, and a double class is 80 minutes. But for the double classes, were only for mathematics and science. Mathematics, only for science, and including mathematics. Reason is, for sciences, you have so much to say. So you can engage students for at least 80 minutes. 80 minutes, that's 1 hour, 20 minutes. But anything beyond that, trust me, they are not listening. They don't understand anymore. So even in the university, the maximum we do is 2 hours for a lecture. So 120 minutes. So once it's beyond that, sometimes you hear that colleagues, lecturers say it's a fire on the mountain. They don't come until the final week of the semester. They don't come and fire on the mountain, 6 hours lecture. Trust me, there's no transfer of knowledge in that kind of scenario. So this is it. So the font size, for the font size of no less than 30 points. Yes, the rule says not less than 30 points, but I was trying to talk about 2024. You can go the minimum we can take is 20. But trust me, even 20, it will not be very clear, but it can be okay. But if you go beyond 20, is difficult. But the most interesting one is the 166 rule or 155 rule or 177 rule, depending on how you want to have it. 160 rule, for example, one idea, 6 bullet points, and 6 words. So, for example, on this slide, this is how many bullet points we have. The first one say the rule, 10, 10, 20, 30 rule, for example. So the second one, 1, 2, 3, that is 4, and then 5 and 6, because the rules here are considered bullet points. So this is about 6 bullet points, and then the sentence should carry not more than 6 words. But it is the rule. It's very difficult to apply the rule for our scientific presentation because sometimes it's not really possible, but we can still make our presentation quite simple. Quite simple, as long as we have the knowledge. We did the work, we know the work, we understand what we did. I think it's easier. Once you put these few words on the PowerPoint, they can even give you an idea. You remember what you have done. So once the projector shows you what is there, you remember how it's done, and you can explain more than what is written on the PowerPoint. This is the most important thing. The PowerPoint should not be a Word document. Don't pack your Word document and put there. Just a few sentences, a few bullet points, and then you explain the bullet points. So it can be 166, it can be 155, it can be 177. But the central thing is that one idea per slide. Yes, per slide. Now, this is a sample of a very bad PowerPoint slide. I'm sure most of you are struggling to read what is here. The color combination, very poor. Look at the wordings. Long, long, long sentences were poorly presented. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Even on the right, and then up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 on the left. And then you have two other bullet points down here. And look at the color. Just imagine the color. This is poor. This is very, very poor. So this is just a sample, an example of PowerPoint presentation. Don't worry. Like I always say, you don't know how to make a presentation, a PowerPoint presentation before now. Fine, there's no problem. But we are hoping that after this lecture, after this course, after you have finished this course, you are going to improve. Like we are going to give assignments on some topics that you are going to make some presentations and you submit, and those will be marked and graded. I tell you a story. When my first degree was in Uni-Agric, what you call now Jostom. Then it was University of Agriculture. So my first attempt at making a presentation was during my seminar in my 400 level. I didn't even know where to start. I had to go online, start reading on how to make a presentation. Trust me, when I remember what I did, I'm not proud of myself. But that is part of growth. And so when I went to Zaria again, I could hide my PowerPoint because it was shameful when I look at what people were doing there. It was very shameful to me. But I tried to learn and improve. But trust me, when I went to Europe, it was even more shameful. I think the first day that I was supposed to make a presentation, I almost withdrew. In the morning of the day, I engaged with one of my colleagues that was from Argentina. So I just peeped into her PowerPoint. When I saw what I saw, I was like, man, I cannot come and fold my hand there. So let me just do something. I had to just go back and try to use 1 hour, and do some things like that. But trust me, I was not proud of the PowerPoint. But today, it's different. It's a different story. So I didn't know. Some of you here even know better than I knew when I started. Yeah, but now it's more better, and that is why I'm even here making the presentation in the first place. So growth is constant. Academic growth is constant. It's presentation part of academic culture. We cannot overemphasize that. Unfortunately, this has been neglected. PG students are assumed to know. We just assume that you are supposed to know. So people just leave you to face your problems. So I think we appreciate IPES for this innovative idea to teach you how to make presentation. This is quite innovative because in our mainstream programs, this is not done. What we teach students is research methodology. So we concentrate all our energy on teaching students on research methods and what to do. And then the most important thing which has to do with research communication is neglected. And so please, this is why we are here. This is why we are studying this course. So this is another interesting scenario. Now, you summarize and captivate attention, align sequence and cohesiveness. Now, look at this PowerPoint, this slide now. On your left, you see number 1 there. Look at what number 1 says. So let's assume the number 1 and 2 are two different slides in one here. So the first person did a slide and pour all kinds of wordings here. Look at what he said. According to the automaker, the Porsche Mission X will be the fastest car in the world and will be the fastest car in the world and can be charged in 10 minutes. More importantly, it is stunning. The fastest electric prototype ever built. The German automaker is turning 75 this year, and they are celebrating it with something big. Good. Now look at the second slide. This is just a summary of all the trench that this person have said there. You just gave us a visual, a graphic of Porsche mission X, and then a few bullet points there. Stunning fast car electric charges in 10 minutes. You can see that even the last point there about German, the maker making turning to 75 is not here. It's not very important here. You can just mention that even why the presentation is being made. So make use of graphics, visuals, visual effects, instead of pouring all kind of wordings on your slide, the PowerPoint. So here for this research kind of presentation, we use graphs, spectra, and all kinds of figures to show your result. For example, this is an X-ray diffraction, the diffractometer of material. So you can see that here, the material has a monomer, pi-stacking complex, photocatalytic, photocycloadduct dimer. So 3 combined in 1. So if you have worked on this kind of project, you don't need to pack all what you have written in your interpretation and explanation or discussion to put here. Just this, that's the figure 2 now, the 2 here. Here, you can just explain what is happening. The peaks here represent, what do they represent? Is it 100 milli index? Is it 001 milli index? And why does the red one, the peaks for the red one shift downwards, down to the 200 and 200, 220, up to 320 nanometers? Why the other ones show peaks at about 380 to 440 nanometers? These have explanations. So you can use just this to explain a lot of information. You don't need to write all kinds of things. And then on the left here, also, it is still the same X-ray diffraction for the material. Now the material separately. So when this is combined, you have this. So this can be used to explain and also there are 0.1, 0.2, 0.3. What do they imply? What do they imply? What is the implication of all of this? So your graphics put to use, this would be very interesting, and you can even explain your work better. For example, here is a FTIR of a sample. So the FTIR here show the peaks available here. You see the first one, the one in red, this is combined, 2 combined. So the first one is a pre and a post. So for the pre, you have peaks at 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5. You have peaks at 2, 9, 5. So you can see that the peak at in the post now, which is a black one, the peak at sorry, the pre is a black one and the post is a red one. So the pre, you have 3, 4, 4, 8, 3, 2, 9, 5, 4 peaks here. But if you look at the post, which is a red one, the peaks have shifted. They shifted to lower frequency. The 2954 have reduced to 2951. 35448 have reduced to 3445. This is an implication here. This means something is happening. So you can use that to explain. Even if one of the functional group here, which is usually associated with the carbonyl, 1708 has been reduced to 1703. Also, the intensity has reduced, increased. The intensity here was down, and then look at the B. A intensity low, but B intensity rise up. So these all have implications. So instead of packing all kinds of wordings and loading here and trying to explain, you just go straight forward and explain using the graphics. So you put your graphics to use and see how you can explain that better. So now also on the left here is also a FTIR of another sample, and some of the structure, you can even load the structure there and to put the functional group present there, and just to explain using the graphics instead of using wordings. Again here also, this has to do with what you call uh, uh, GCMS. So here too, we can use this to explain that, and graphics. Very, very easy to use to explain, convey your message to your audience, especially in our case, for example. So here as well, you can have, I think this is for the NMR. This is for NMR, and this all have implications. So you can see the arrows. So here we try to, you can see the red arrow and the blue arrow. They have tried to enlarge the peaks there, the identified peaks there, which are responsible for something. So you can see on the left here, you have the control and the sexy plant, say here. And so we try to make a comparison with the put again, pre and post. And so you can use just the graphics to explain this very well, and your presentation will be very, very interesting. Trust me, most times the challenge with our scientific work is analysis. So most of the analysis, most people don't understand how they work. They know sometimes in theory the principle, but in practice it's difficult to explain. No problem. You can meet someone that understands, the person that have done the interpretation for you. Meet them to explain to you how this is done. You can also watch YouTubes and see how you can understand better how to explain them. And then you go and face your audience and do the interpretation. One very most important point is this. Presentations are not made to crucify you. Presentations are made to improve the quality of your work. So if you hear even a lecturer that is saying that I want to go to the seminar and deal with this person, then that person, I'm not sure is educated. There's a difference between having a degree and being educated. They are different. So once you begin to see a seminar presentation or a presentation as an opportunity to go and attack people, it is wrong. And this is why this prompts some students to even pray for other lecturers not to attend their presentation. No, this should not be. The people that criticize the work more, you should pray for them to be at your presentation, because they open your eyes to a lot of things. And the whole aim is to improve the quality of your work. This is the aim of a presentation, scientific presentation, like in your case. So, common mistakes students do during presentations. First, they read content aloud. Some students cannot even face their audience. So what they do is, on the day of the presentation, they go and drink all kinds of hot drinks just to get the boldness. You don't need all that. It is not war. It is not war. Like I said, we are just there to improve the quality of the work. Tell us what you know. Tell your audience what you know. And then we'll see how we can make it better. It is better you won't do the error there. Because remember, normally we send your work to external examination. So at the end of your work, when we send your work to external examination, what we are saying, what that means is, at our level, within our universities, both the department, the faculty, and the PG school, we have vetted the work and we have accepted the work that is okay. That it is worthy of consideration. And that's why we invite an external examiner. I think for PGD now, you are not going to do external examination anymore, but you are going to do internal examination, which is the same thing. There's no different. The different thing is that for the external, you bring someone outside, but the internal, you still bring people within. But they are not your supervisors. They are going to look at the work critically. So don't be scared. Don't be scared. Own your work. You can't go there and start reading content aloud. No, people can read. So don't do the PowerPoint for you, like I said. Do it for people. So let them follow what you are doing for your audience, rather. Let them follow and understand where you are going, where you're coming from, and where you are going to. Secondly, confusing graphics, bad clips art. Some people just go and pick clips here, all kinds of graphics, and just dominate the graphics on the PowerPoint, and it's difficult to now follow what is happening. Then slides with too much text, too much text. I think we've said this before at the beginning. Tiny fonts, the fonts are very tiny, and so it's difficult. So you go and stand there, and in fact, what you don't want to experience, what you don't want to experience is start a presentation on a bad note. Once you start on a bad note, it doesn't matter how good you are not going to come out smiling. Yes. So it is very important to start on a very good note, on a very strong note. When you start strongly, it's difficult. Even in the middle, when if you can have some errors, people still understand. And like I always say, the audience, in this case, in your case, for example, the audience here now, they are your lecturers. They are some of them your colleagues. So the aim is to improve the work, the quality of the work. Elsewhere in Europe and Americas, for example, I will share a story of mine with you. I worked on amino acids, incorporated them with some other biologically important moieties for breast cancer studies, anti-cancer, like on anti-cancer drugs on breast cancers. That's my PhD work. And so where I worked when I was in Madrid, so where I worked, I carried out my research, I was working with a lot of amino acids, and every amino acid giving me a similar pattern, a good result, good result, good result. Then it got to an amino acid called methionine. No way forward, no way backward. Like, I go and carry out an experiment, and then I see something very different, completely different, something out of normal. Like, there's no logical explanation. So I went to my supervisor and asked that I want to replace amino acid. I want to replace all methionine. I want to use a different amino acid. He asked me why. I explained to him the challenge. He said, no, you are not going to replace. In fact, he asked me to bring the replacement. Which one do I want to replace with? I said, okay, I want to replace it with captopril. Captopril is not an amino acid, but a derivative of an amino acid. So he said, okay, instead, I'm going to add the captopril to you, but you are going to unbundle. You are going to explain the misbehavior of this methionine. So go back. So the next day I went, I was confused. I didn't know what to do. And then he told me, call for a seminar. So I had to call for a seminar. So we went for a seminar and we make presentation, and somebody suggested an experiment that I should go and carry out. And so one thing with captopril is methionine has a sulfur group attached to a methyl group. All the other ones have sulfur group attached to hydrogen. So it is the methionine, the methyl group that was causing the problem. So somebody said, go and carry out the experiment using certain acid and test the behavior of the sulfur in the other ones and in methionine. And when I did that, we saw that we got the answer, we got the solution. So you can see that seminar was not to go and crucify me, but to bring solution. So please, seminars are meant to bring solution. It is meant to improve your work. So don't be scared. Don't be scared. Don't say because that lecturer asked too many questions, don't do this. Some of you, even at the venue of presentation, you are still walking around begging people, I beg, no ask me question. I beg, no ask me question. This is mediocrity. It doesn't make sense for academics. So allow people to ask you questions. Even if you ask questions you don't know, even there, people will say, help you to answer. But the most important thing is, don't just say, I don't know. Try to explain. So if you carry out your work yourself, you will be able to explain. Even if you don't get it completely, you will get something. Just like I said, my supervisor will say, at the beginning of the presentation, the supervisor know more than the student. But at the end, the student should know more than the supervisor. In fact, the student should know more than the audience, because most of what you are going to explain, there are some people are hearing, they understand a few things about what you are saying, but what you have done, the results you have gotten, they are seeing it for the first time. They don't know. So you have to tell them the pattern that this is what is happening. So avoid confusing graphics. Like I've said, then poor time management. Most times people have, this is the one that affects students so much. Students have so much to discuss. And then they spend so much time on things that don't matter. For example, there's a difference between a proposal presentation and a results presentation, an internal presentation where you are presenting your results. So during proposal, you tell us, this is what I want to do, this is what I want to do, this is the aim, this is a problem, this is a solution I want to solve, bring, and this is the aim, and this is the objective, this is how I'm going to do it, and this is the methodology that I want to adopt to arrive at this solution. That's all that you tell us during proposal. But during the final presentation before your graduation, you also tell us, give us the results, present the results. So when you come that time, you are still going to talk about the aim and the objective, the introduction, aim and a problem statement, justification, aim and objectives, and methodology, and then results and discussion. You still arrange your presentation logically like that. But now, during presentation, you need to know that for the introduction, aim and objective, statement of problem, methodology, you have presented this before. So the whole of your time, if you have 10 minutes to make presentation, 2 of those minutes are going to do that part. The remaining 8 are going to your results and conclusion and recommendation. And in this case, today, we also ask for contribution to knowledge. So, but students spend more than 8 minutes. If it's 10 minutes, they spend almost 10 minutes explaining what they have explained before, what is no longer important. So when they come to the results now, what is the most important thing now? You hear the timekeeper saying you have 2 minutes. And once they tell you 2 minutes, you lose focus. It doesn't matter how good you are going to lose focus because now you are in a hurry. So time management is very, very, very important. If it's possible, when you can make yourself into group, if you make a presentation, you prepare your PowerPoint, present it within among your group, and say I can scrutinize that and see how you can educate yourself and make corrections and make it better. Or you even make presentation and get somebody to time you so that you see how you can manage your time properly or learn how to manage your time properly. So, why do postgraduate students prepare poor presentation slides? Why? So we need to understand the problem and so that we can improve academic communication. So, like I said, every presentation has their audience. In your case, it's an academic presentation. So there's a way it is done. There's a format to carry, the structure. We have a structure which I have given you before in the previous slides. Don't worry, we are going to send the slides at the end of the presentation. We'll send the slides to you and you do justice to that. So when we understand the problem, we can see how we can improve academic communication. Like I said, most of the time, we used to teach research methodology. We teach students how to do research. We know how to do research, but communicating the research now is a problem. And this is the issue. This is the problem. This is a problem. More attention is focused on research and less focus on communication of research or research communication or academic communication, like you have said, like we have said before. So why does this matter anyways? Why does this matter? Most importantly, poor slides does not mean poor research. Poor slide is not equal to poor research. You may do your research and get very good results, but your slide presentation is poor. But it will give the audience the implication, the assumption that your research is poor. Because like we said, you can't give what you don't have. So probably you don't have it, that's why you're not giving it. So it can affect that. And secondly, it influences your viva, your external defense, funding, collaboration, and even teaching. I attended an external examination that somebody worked on something, and at the end, the students could not present anything. They just loaded a lot of wordings on the PowerPoint and just displayed, and you just say, for example, here is the XRD result, here is the FTI result, here is the NMR result, here is this result, here is the GCMS result, here is the GCMS result. Thank you for listening. So the external examiner was very, very furious. It was a lady. She was very furious. So she asked the student a simple question that you should just like it. I don't want to call the student's topic just to protect his image. Uh, let's say, for example, the student worked on hydrolysis, for example. So the external examiner will now be like, okay, what is hydrolysis? And then the student doesn't know. So how do you work on something and they are asking you even the meaning of that thing you don't know? So one other issue is what I have mentioned before. Students are no longer interested. What they're interested in is the paper. So they're not interested in the research. They're not interested in the training. What they're interested in is the paper. So you see people carry beautiful papers, but they cannot give the information, cannot share knowledge. Knowledge cannot be transferred. So they contract people to do the work, do the research, do the results interpretation, do the writing, and do everything. So all they do is just go and present. So, like I said before, you don't know, no crime. You are not making effort to know that is the crime. So this will affect these kind of things. And trust me, in the end, the external examiner said only two things are possible. One, the students will fail the exam and come back to write, to do the exam another day. The panel begged that no, we should have mercy. The lady now said, the professor said, okay. So the only way out now is the student will score a C. And if you score a C in your master's degree, you are not qualified to do a PhD. So that will go from your terminal degree. Here, I think here in our system, elsewhere, I don't know. I don't know how it's done, but this was what she was trying to explain. So it became a case of somebody being at someone's mercy, and you don't want to be in that position. So, like I said, you don't know, it's not a problem. Just try to know. Try to make effort. Even if somebody helps you to do the PowerPoint, do the research, meet the person, let them educate you. How did you do this? How did you do this? How did you do this? But if it is possible, please do it yourself. Please, you do it yourself. You can be more accountable for it and you can understand it better. And of course, probably tomorrow, you can even transfer the knowledge to someone else, and this way, we can safeguard and preserve our scientific knowledge. So, funding, you all agree with me that today, research funding is everywhere. I think you know about Royal Society of Chemistry, American Chemical Society. There's heavy funders of research all over the globe. If you do poor presentation, they will affect your funding chances. You apply for funding, you will not get, because you are competing at that level. You are competing with the whole world. You are competing with the scholars across the globe. So people have learned a lot of things. They have upgraded their skills with current knowledge. And if you cannot upgrade yours, you are just left behind. And then collaboration. Even if you know that research it cannot be done independently. Independent research is not encouraged. Collaboration is what we encourage. So you can make collaborations with scientists outside there. How do you make this collaboration? You must be able to make presentation, communicate your research to them what you have been doing and how you have been doing your present work, your previous experience, and your future research ideas, the kind of things you want to do in the future. And then even teaching. Some of you are teachers, some of us are teachers. And so if you cannot make good presentation, you cannot teach very well. I remember during my stay in Base University, it was my first experience with the electronic board. But we had to stand up to the challenge. And so lectures were delivered by making presentations, just making presentations. And sometimes you copy on a flash drive or send it to your account on the university and go to the electronic board and download there and teach the student. At the end, you send the same to the student's email and lecture has been delivered. So if this skill is not adopted or embraced, it will be difficult to survive with your Viva funding, collaboration, and teaching opportunities. So postgraduates produce high quality research, very high quality research. Most people, very, very high quality research, but they struggle to communicate it visually. It's difficult. So this is a challenge, and this is why this matters. This is exactly why this is a matter to be discussed, and we should have this conversation about this. So the So most times, slides are treated as documents. So your slides, what you are presenting, what you are sending people, you are sending to people, they are looking at it as a mini thesis, because what is in your thesis or dissertation is a summary that is on your slides. For example, at the end of your program, you write a thesis. So when you come to present, you're not going to carry the thesis and present. You pick the ideas, summarize ideas from your thesis, and make a presentation. So your slides here is the mini thesis, or even a mini paper. So sometimes you can even be given a publication that, okay, or say they say, okay, you made a publication from the work, and then they say, okay, summarize your publication, use your publication, one of your publication, and make a paper. And I mean, design a PowerPoint slides. Maybe we'll look at that much later through the course of your program. I don't know. I'll discuss with my colleague, we'll see what we can do, if that can form part of the assignment. Now, results is in text loaded, is in text overload, sorry. You carry results instead of carrying graphics, what do you call graphics and all of you tables, yeah. You can show tables, show figures, spectra, and all. You now pack text and overload them on the disk. This is not proper. It's not proper. And so normally it's easy if you split the slide. You can split the slide, for example. So on your left, you have text, just the way this has split this slide now. On your left, you have the text. And then on your right, keywords plus visuals or visuals. So in my case here on this slide, you see that the wordings are on the left and the visuals are on the right. So this way, you can make it very much interesting and simple. You can also see that we have just 4 bullets here again, and the wordings are just a few. In some cases, 1, 2, 3, 4. Some cases, 6. And so, but we don't even have anywhere where there are more than 6. But we can use this to explain a lot of what is going on. And so if you design your PowerPoint presentation using this template or ideas, I think you can arrive at something much more interesting. Now, research is taught, communication is ignored. This is a key issue. I've told you before, we spend so much time teaching PG students on research methodology, how to do research, how to do research. We even go to the lab with them, and then we ignore this aspect of communication. But communication is the most important thing. Don't worry, at the end of the class, I want to know how many of you have attended conferences before, academic, scientific conference, or any conference at all, where you made presentation. So maybe you can put up your hand so that I will know how many of you have gone attended presentations, conferences and made presentation or workshops. Okay, that's interesting. I can see Akpan Samuel. That's interesting. That's interesting. It's a way to go. It's a way to go. One other person can see another person too. I can see, yes, I can see a lot of people. That's okay, two people now. So, yes, that's very interesting. So, please continue because conferences will make you learn a lot and, you know, will make you learn a lot and improve your communication skills, research communication skills. And so now bad habits passed down. Nobody teaches scientific slide design. This is bad habits. This is bad habit. Personally, I teach my students how to design slides. At undergraduate level, yes, I teach them that. And for the PG, where this one is more difficult because to see them is a problem. Sometimes you register for a program, to see you is a problem. And so, like, most times we don't know how to begin to police adults around. So we just leave it at that. And so if you want the knowledge, you get it. If you don't want, we allow you. But when you before you make a presentation, you submit the slide to me, for example. And so I have to vet and scrutinize and direct accordingly. But in most cases, the presentation slides are very poorly designed. And so this is a bad habit because I didn't teach you how to prepare PowerPoint slides. Probably when you're now training someone else, you let the person to just be at people's mercy, just there, make a presentation. Teach them how to make PowerPoint slide. This is not correct. This is not proper. And so it's a bad habit. Please don't copy it. When it's your time, you're handling some people, you're in charge of some group of people, teach them how to make PowerPoint presentation because it is very, very important. we're trying to see how we can even incorporate this in our regular mainstream postgraduate programs so that students can learn how to make this presentation. Because when you go for international conferences, for example, you make presentation. And up there, nobody want to understand your background. No. You are there to represent your country, for example. So nobody understands your background. They don't want to give you any kind of understanding. No empathy. You are a specialist, you are a professional, you have all the responsibility to do the correct thing, something that should be admired. So this is very important. So research is taught, communication is ignored. Bad habits passed down. Nobody teaches scientific slide design or research. But in reality, training focuses on research methods and publishing. Publishing is part of communication. I remember at my time in Zaria, we were taught how to publish even in the class. We taught what we call research methodology. We also taught what is called chemical informatics. So how to report chemical information, how to even search for chemical information. I learned things like Google Scholar, things like Science Direct, or how to get information. I learned them during this course. So this is a reality. The training must focus on research methods and publishing. And this is why IPES has tried to launch this course to see how you can improve your scientific reporting skills. So we are grateful for this. Very little on visual storytelling, cognitive load, and slide aesthetics. So most times, the student just come, I'm here to present this Mango or mango and this, and this. Mango is this one is this one. I got the mango in Boko, I did this one. I did this, I did this. See the result here. This one is this one is this one is this one is here, this one is here. Thank you for listening. So direct. So, no, you don't carry the audience along. You just leave them there. Sometimes your presentation becomes so boring that people are not, our today's generation, they like pressing phone. So they're just there, but people are just pressing their phones, doing their things, and be like, okay, finish and leave this place. I am sure you understand what I'm saying, because most of you, I'm sure, have been attending our seminars in the universities. Some even the online ones, they have been attending, have been following. You see the kind of things people present. Some people, yes, they know. Some people present very interesting slides, but they have learned. They don't just wake up and start presenting those slides. They have been learning over time, and that is why they are becoming perfect at that. So they improve every day and every day and every day. So we hope that at the end, you are going to improve your writing skills and also presentation and slides creation skills as well. Sorry. Trying to...
We can't.
Hello?
Okay, we can hear you now.
We can hear
Okay,
you.
can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes, we can hear you.
We can hear you, sir.
Okay. Sorry, I need to reload my PowerPoint. I don't know what's happening.
We still have the PowerPoint visual here.
Yes, but it cannot move forward. I don't know what's going on. So I'm trying to see how I can figure that out. Okay, let me share again. Let's start again. Okay, so can you see now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I can see it now.
Okay.
It's
So,
on.
okay. So, okay, so can you see the slide now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes, sir.
Yes, see it.
Okay. Okay, so fear-driven slides. Now, why do students fear? They load the text on the PowerPoint because they don't want to forget. The fear of forgetting. Then they are also scared of the fear of questions. And then they appear unprepared. So this has to do with what we have explained before, fear of forgetting. Because you didn't do the work. You are trying to cram in the last minute, 9 minutes. So you are scared of forgetting. So you now pour those things there so that you'll be reading directly from there. But you are even creating more problems for yourself. Once you do your slides like that, you are giving the impression to the audience that you didn't do the work. So questions may start to come. The questions you are even scared of. The second point here, fear of questions. That thing you are scared of, that is what you are inviting. When you load your PowerPoint with too much words. And so once the questions start coming, you become confused. So you just stay there and you don't know what is going on. You don't even know what to say. And then you begin to appear unprepared. So what is the outcome? Your slides become your speaker notes. Sorry, your notes, sorry. Your slides become your notes. Because you are reading directly from the slides. So that becomes your notes. Now, you begin to read instead of explaining. So instead of explaining that, okay, because I use water samples from River Benue and I tested and got lead there. The implication is that it's because those people's what do you call the mechanical activities happening close to the dump site, close to River Benue, is making the lead leach from there to this one. Or you went to analyze dry cassava. But what people call that the people in the, let's say, Air Force base used to dry on the roadside. You analyze it and you find out that there's a high amount of lead. Where is the lead coming from? You tell people that, okay, this lead is likely coming from the exhaust of the oncoming vehicles on the roadside. Since they are exposed to these chemicals there. So this is the origin of this one. No. The next thing you begin to read. You read what you have dumped there, and because you are scared, you pack a lot of things and dump on the PowerPoint and begin to repeat them. Please, that makes your presentation very poor and very, very uninteresting. So these are the outcomes. Now, once your slides are fear-driven, there's fear of forgetting. We'll see it there in the slide. Fear of questions. We'll see it there. That's why some of you begin to beg people, please don't ask me questions. You won't go and beg your mates, your friends. So sometimes when they enter seminar now, once the presenter finishes presenting, we ask, okay, questions. Students should start first. Students will say, no question, no question. Because I will not ask you to don't come and ask me later. So you see that it's only the lecturers are now asking the questions. And then it's now it doesn't look academic anymore. It makes it look like it is them against us. Those people, they are bad people. That guy used to ask questions plenty. Me, I don't want his problem. Guy, wahala, that guy now, wahala. You know, so these are all kind of forms of mediocrity. And it's not encouraged. It's not encouraged. So allow room for corrections. Allow room for corrections. If you have never failed, then I don't think you have ever improved your life. You have to fail. You've heard the story of what you call the man who invented Thomas Edison. Thomas Edison said he failed for almost 1,000 times. He failed. All the time he's failed. But towards the end of his career, some journalists met him in his home and asked him, so what do you say about those people that laugh at you when you fail earlier in your career? He just stood up and on the electric bulb. He on the bulb. That this is the answer. So even if you fail and fail, allow room for correction. The most important thing is being corrected. And that's what I tell you. You don't know something. It's fine. You didn't commit a crime. But your eyes are being opened now to know. So the information is there for you. Go get it. Learn how to do it and practice. And ask questions. Where you don't understand, ask questions. Sometimes some of us are even available. You prepare a PowerPoint. You can send it to, okay, please, sir, I want you to take a look at this. Is it okay? Again, we advise, do this, check your slide, this, see how you can make this like this. See how I can have a logical flow. Okay, remove this one, add this one. I didn't see this one. No. See what you do, see what you do. That will make it even better. So you need another eye to look at your work. Don't be hiding it. Some of us have this mentality of competition, and this is what is destroying our society. People are competing on all fronts. You see, when we were in secondary school, people will be writing and be hiding. People at the university, people will be writing and be hiding their work. Don't look at me as if you're carrying first. No. We have gone past that. That was childhood, wrong ideologies. Move on. Open yourself up. Open up. Share knowledge. When you share knowledge, you even know more. Show people what you are doing. Please, how can we improve this? They improve what you are doing. And then you see how you can even present before these people and see how they can score you. So some students, I remember there's some PG students that they came and met me and my friend, and they pleaded that they want to make presentation before us. So no problem, we set up, we use my office, okay, make the presentation, we give you time. You have 15 minutes. Okay, time start now. Make presentation. The first one will always be bad. I don't know how many of you have done some videos of yourself. You want to video yourself and say something, or even sing, or even, appear like you are making an interview, or you are trying to answer some question. The first one is always bad. First one, bad. Second one, bad. Maybe first one worse, second one bad. Then by the time you do repeat and repeat and repeat, you now get a good one. And the later ones you are doing are the best ones. Why? Because you are practicing and you're making, you are becoming perfect. So practice is the most important thing. So don't hide your knowledge. Don't hide your work. Ask people to look at it, help you to look at it. Invite them, please look at it. How can we improve this? And so this way you have a better presentation and remove fear. Remove fear. Fear is better chase your fears now. Face them and then see how you can go. Truth is, some of us to face them. I tell you, my first presentation, the first day of my presentation was my seminar in the day and my 400 level. Then we will be in group, and then they say, okay, Michael is the most intelligent one, so Michael should lead the group, according to them, anyway. So they didn't know that, okay, I was even scared. I didn't know. In fact, on the day of presentation, somebody even presented far better than me. Somebody that was not as academically sound as I was, but nobody even knew. But somehow the young lady made, in fact, her presentation was the best. Even me, I acknowledged that this person presented far better than me. And she was already learning how to make presentation from her other ones who were ahead. So she learned. And after the class, I went and met her. And I was like, come on, how did you do this? How did I enjoy your presentation? She was shocked. So please, embrace new knowledge. Embrace new knowledge. Embrace this. And then some of you, the problem is AI. Because AI is there, you just go and download things from AI and pack and come and present. No. AI can give you idea. It's okay to use AI. It's allowed. I allow my students to use that. Although ethically, you can prompt AI to give you some ideas. You develop the ideas. Not just pack what AI is giving you and come and done, and then you begin to look confused. I don't know what I do. So if you do this, you don't need to fear. And don't be scared of questions. Questions will make even you understand your work better. We are in a research group where we are trying to apply for grants, and we have this particular fellow that every time is asking questions. Some of the group members get offended. He's a professor, but every time he's asking questions, and his questions sometimes will look stupid, will sound stupid. But trust me, those questions he's asking are questions that come up at the interview. So some of us have understood it and we're like, what the hell, no matter how frustrating these questions sound, we take them. We take them because it gives us an idea and give us another perspective to begin to think, okay, why is this guy thinking like this? Why don't we think like this? Like we plan to do something, we ask, what if the thing don't go like that? What are we going to do? So you now be frustrated, we want to be frustrated and begin to ask, why do you think it will not work? But that is how science operates. Sometimes we design and explain beautifully on paper, but when you go to the lab, doesn't work. So you have to look at possibilities of what to do when it doesn't work. So very important, don't prepare a fear-driven slide. Most of this is caused by last-minute PowerPoint preparation. Some of you wait until the last minute. Procrastination is an issue. So please, let's see how we can improve on this and see how we can, embrace this and improve our presentation and PowerPoint preparation skills. Okay, so let me pause here and take questions from you. So in the next session, which will come around in the afternoon, we are going to continue with the issues. So academic culture problem. So like you can see on this slide here, there's an academic culture problem. So we'll look at that one after that. So please, it is time to ask questions. It's time to ask questions.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, good morning.
Can I go ahead?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. Mostly for the past time, you're the third lecture we're having. Can you hear me?
Please, I cannot hear you very well. You are echoing.
Is it better now?
Please, we can mute our mics if you are not asked to speak, please.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, this is the third lecture week we're having. And from your explanation on slides, PowerPoint in particular, it's obvious we are not supposed to pile up our information on it. It's just supposed to be pointers.
Yes.
Then we explain.
Yeah.
The first week, our lecturer gave us an assignment of 15 slides. I think 20 slides. Yes, 20 slides. And when they give an assignment of such, it's obviously pointers that we cannot explain. Is that still acceptable? Since we're not presenting it, we're just submitting it. How would they understand what is in our head?
Yes. But this is a very good question. I didn't see this one coming. You see, that one now, you have to make a PowerPoint and submit. Is that so?
Yes, sir.
Good. So this one, the lecturer one, there's something he's looking at. Probably there's something he's looking at which must have been communicated prior to the assignment. So it's an assignment. So since you are not going to be there to explain, you make the bullets look more self-explanatory. But again, you cannot load wordings there. If it is a write-up, a coursework seminar or something that you need to, it will be a write-up or what do you call 10 paper. If it's a 10 paper, it's not going to be slides. So you can load all the information there and give. But as long as the assignment says PowerPoint presentation, it must look like actual PowerPoint presentation. So in essence, that is dependent, yes, again, on the lecturer in question, because we must have engaged you and explain probably what he's looking at. But for example, if I give you that assignment, which I'm going to give, we are going to give an assignment at the end of this lecture. When I give you that assignment, you are going to make a PowerPoint presentation. You prepare a slides. We can limit the number. I'll discuss with my colleague, Dr. Ike, and we'll see how we arrive at something. What is best for you and how we can manage the time across all of you. I need to know the exact number. How many exactly are you people? before I can arrive at that. So when we decide that, I will give you the PowerPoint. You are going to make it look exactly like PowerPoint, and you are going to make presentation yourself. So where it's an assignment, it must not deviate completely from the norm. So it may not be exactly as we have said. If the person in requesting is saying 20 slides, this is okay. You give him 20 slides document, but no too much wordings there, no too much confusing graphics, self-explanatory graphic, because now you are not going to be there to explain. So you are going to make it self-explanatory as much as possible. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yes. Yes, Mr.
Okay.
Sisu.
Hello, good afternoon, sir.
Okay.
Yes, Francis, you can go ahead.
Yes, sir. So my question is, you know,
Yeah.
this particular topic we are treating, I can say is really my first time getting this kind of thing on PowerPoint presentation. Well, I appreciate what you have been doing. It's just that we will need more explanation on this in order for us to at least able to stand and present without anxiety and nervousness. So that if there's any way you can assist us for this presentation to be, when we talk about presentation, you present it well without any mistake. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Francis. You see?
Mr. Peter.
Okay, is it
It's
Peter?
not Francis.
It's Mr. Peter, sir.
Okay, Peter is the one that asked the question.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
You confused me because I gave Mr. Francis the floor to speak. It's okay.
Yeah.
Francis,
Oh,
you
sorry,
speak
sir.
after Peter. No problem, it's fine. No problem.
Better.
It's okay. It's okay. So, Mr. Peter, actually, you have been making presentations before now. And the problem is you are scared of your lecturers. You have anxiety because the people you are making a presentation to are your superiors.
Yes, sir.
But you cannot be scared forever. You cannot be scared forever. So you face your fears. So one of the ways you are going to face those fears is facing us, because myself and Dr. Eke are the ones taking the course. So you are going to make presentation before us.
Yes, sir.
So even if, like I said, make error. Okay?
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Make error. It's okay
Yes,
to make the error here, so that will correct you. I told you, even
okay,
Thomas Edison, the man that invented the incandescent bulb that you know, he failed for more than 1,000 times.
Yes.
And I told you, you don't know is not a problem. You don't know up to this moment is not a problem. That is why you even enrolled to study anyways. So it's not a problem that you don't know. It's not a crime. The crime is when you are not making effort to know. And one of the ways we are going to assist you is we are going to send you the PowerPoint. Myself and Dr. Eke, tomorrow, he will send you his own too. I will send mine too to all of you.
It's okay.
So you go through it and see how we give you topics. You now design your presentation and see how we can make them.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
No problem. Don't worry. We are with you. Don't be scared. We are here to, like I said, presentations are made you make presentations so that people will improve what you are doing. So see it like that. When you see it like that, you are okay. But most importantly, don't limit it to just you. You can show someone else to take a look at it and help you. Someone that probably have a more experience than you, so that you can, make the presentation even much more better and interesting. Thank you. So, Francis.
Okay, sir. Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Yes, you're welcome.
Yes, Francis. Now, I want to thank you for the lecture. It's really opened our eyes to so many things. Because just like how you said, sometimes when we're doing presentation, there's some things that we just hide somewhere, write it so that whenever they ask for question, we just keep our answer. I'm into statistics. Now, they usually stress the fact that we must put all the equations on the PowerPoint. And when you that is the methodology now, that
They
you
must put
almost put
all the
everything,
what?
the equations of the model that you want to use, or the
Okay, okay.
proofs. You have to put it on the end to make the PowerPoint look so bogus, especially and all the tables for the you usually use the table for the interpretation, the tables and also the graph for the interpretation. I think that one is okay, but they usually ask us to put all the whole equation, and it makes it bogus. So I don't know whether that is that is the correct standard, and also the issue of how many slides you think is better for a standard presentation, and that's of how to manage time. Those are our questions.
Okay, so I'll start with the last one. The number of slides for standard presentation normally should not be more than 12. And 12 include the conclusion, the salutation. The salutation should be the 12th one. That is okay. Because whatever information you have, you can convey in 10 slides. The 11th one will be conclusion, and the 12th one will be salutation. And we move on. However, for your second question, where you say they say you load all kinds of, or state all that is there on the PowerPoint, please, I want to assure you. You said? You
That is
said
the
something?
model that you're using to do your.
Yes, the model. The model. Listen.
The model.
Yes, listen. It is
All
impossible
the
to
equations
report
of
everything. It is impossible to report everything on the slide. It is impossible. It is practically impossible. So, the most important ones, the ones that maybe even gave birth to the other ones.
The reason why I asked like that is that
let me hear you again, Francis.
Okay, the reason why I asked concerning the numbers is that okay, like now I worked on something that's I worked on something that's very, very large. We're looking at the particular model. In fact, we call it a family, GAC family. And I have to pick all the whole model I want to use and put them so that they know that these are the models. Because if I don't stress them, I will have issues. Then now, the tables, we have about 12 tables. 12 tables. Now, that shows that only the result has 12 lines. So, how do you summarize those tables in such a way that you just
Francis, Francis, are you hearing me?
So that is why,
Francis, are you hearing me? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I am telling you that you
Yes,
cannot
I can
present
hear you.
your entire. Listen to me, please. Listen to me. I need to speak. You cannot present all your results on the PowerPoint. It's impossible. So I don't agree with you when you tell me that you have 12 tables. That means 12 slides. It's not possible. You must not present all the results. Pick the very, very key, the tables that give the most striking information. If you have 12 tables, I'm sure inside the 12 tables, you must have at least 4 that give the most striking information. Pick them. Remember, when you're making presentations, some people that the internal examiners, they have your full work. They can refer to the full work. And then for the models, you cannot put all models on one. No. As long as you know the model. If you want, you can even design what you call a pathway, how you arrange the model, a flow diagram, a flow chart. It will not just show, okay, model this, animate them. But as long as you know the models, you know them. You don't need to look at them to remember them. You can use that analogy to explain. It's acceptable because your work is already piled as a thesis, as a document. But you are coming to give us a summary of what is in your work. So I don't agree with you when you say you pack all the models, you must put the models. If not, you have problem. I don't understand what you mean problem. There's no problem. As long as you're able to explain what you are doing, there's no problem at all. The problem comes when you are not even able to explain what you have done. So I hope you understand that, Francis.
Okay, sir.
Thank you. So, Kenu Philip.
Yes, sir.
Kenu Philip, you can go ahead.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, morning.
Yeah, so I just want to make a contribution concerning what on today's lectures. First of all, I want to appreciate you so much for these good presentations, and secondly, I want to make a comment concerning what make students fears and not improve in their academics.
Okay.
Like most of times, some lecturers they make us or they make students not to improve in their academics, especially during the times of writing projects. There are some lecturers that even though if you submit their project proposal to them, topic to them, and then they'll look for a way that they will intimidate or they will scare you, and then they will request a money from you so that you should give them the money that they will do the project on behalf of you. And then even that, if you didn't insist that you will not do that, then they will say that okay, we shall see. Either they will make you to fail in your projects. So I just want to let you know that even though if you people can help or younger ones that are still in as undergraduates to make maybe a seminar on.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you, Kate. Thank you, Kenu. Are you done?
Yes,
Can I say
I
something?
almost done.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, because I know what I'm saying, because I was once a victim during our during our time, to the point that I was even asked, because I was one of the students among the project students that I was, let me say, their prefects to coordinate. So again, one of the girl that yes, he have one of the girl that called from the from village to send a huge amount of money so that she can do her project. So the woman was calling, and then the lecturer was annoyed. So the man called me that this is also what the girl's bought him, and then he's talking so much about this thing. So and the man started saying that okay, let me see, I will show you. So all those kind of things, they make students to fear, and even not to. Hello.
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, so they can make students not to perform well in their academics.
It's okay. It's okay. You have made your point,
Yes.
Kenu. I agree. I understand with you. I agree. Okay. But
Yes,
you
sir.
see, the most important thing is that your program is done in IPES. I hope you know. And IPES has a very strong feedback mechanism from students directly. You can even send emails, and they will not even know, the lecturer will not even know that this is happening. And I trust you, no supervisor in IPES that is supervising IPES students will do this. If they are ever trying this, then they are playing with their careers, because there's zero tolerance of this kind of thing in IPES. And let me tell you, people have different personalities.
Hello, sir.
Even I know that,
hello.
Even as I'm. Hello.
Hello, sir.
Yes, can you hear me?
Sorry, you see.
Yes, we can hear you.
I'm not referring directly to this particular and IPES. You understand? I'm referring directly to undergraduate. Yes, I'm not referring to this particular IPES something.
Okay,
yes.
That's fine. That's fine. It's okay. That's fine.
Yes.
That's fine. So, but the assurance is that here you are covered. And also in the undergraduate programs and the regular programs, like I said, we're trying to see how we can, improve the system. You see, we are all part of a system. Ken, you see the way you are talking here, it's as if the problem is only on the lecturer side. But the problem is also on the student side. So there are some students that they carry themselves and go and meet these lecturers. They look for all kinds of ways to meet these lecturers and see how the lecturers can do the thing for them. That they will judge the work. So please, this is the issue. But the most important thing is that who do we want to be? Who are we? How do we want to make our presentations? How do we want to improve? Do we want to improve? Do we want to learn the process? Do we want to develop? These are the questions. If the answer is yes, then you can do it. And I believe that even such lecturers, when they see hardworking students, they are very hardworking and committed, I don't think nobody wants to go and tarnish their image where the student is not even interested. So most times the students that give green light for these kind of things. So I'm not saying the lecturer too is completely innocent, no. But it's a two-way thing. But you know the correct thing. So you are encouraged to choose the right path. Most importantly, IPES, you are safe. And why are we here? To teach you how to do PowerPoints better and to make presentations better, even in your IPES program and afterwards. So tomorrow you have the responsibility to teach others too on how to make very good presentation. So thank you. Thank you very much. Any other question? Any other question, please?
No question. Please, sir, can we have your number?
Sir, before the number, can I add to what you said, please?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I did my undergraduate, but when it was time, because they knew how I was working on my work, nobody asked me for any finances. And when it was time for the presentation, there was a question that was asked. I said, sir, I came to school that was for another different program entirely. They asked for a proposal. I did the proposal. So they now said, why am I doing this? I don't want to call the... Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, I don't want to call the name of the school / the topic I worked on.
Yeah.
So the lecturer asked the question and said, why am I doing this? I said, sir, I'm doing this because I don't know it. And I believe if I don't know it, where I'm coming from, the people don't also know it. So they understood that a student that doesn't know and is willing to know, those kind of students, they will not ask them to pay money to do work. And they cannot be intimidated. So it's how you present yourself as a student that lecturers will definitely avoid you. If I present myself as an unserious student, the lecturers will definitely be willing that this person is willing to pay for it. Nobody will ask me for pay when I'm serious about my work.
That is not true.
This is not an argument.
Wait, hello. If I don't allow you to speak, please don't speak. I have to allow you to speak. Else you don't speak. That's insubordination. It's not allowed. It's not acceptable here. And this is not an argument session. It is just to give insight into what happened. Like I said, I agree with you, Patience, that yes, sometimes the way you stand, that's the way they photo snap you. But in some cases, there are some people that are notorious for doing these kind of things to students. We also know those people exist. But like I said, nobody wants to be in the news for the wrong things. So if you know what you are doing and you have your stuff, trust me, even when the thing reaches to intimidation level, you can write. And trust me, no lecturer will leave his work and go and be pursuing you to go and harm you. They don't have that time. See, we are extremely busy people, extremely busy. I'm supposed to be at another seminar now. It is this one that is stopping me. Then we have a lot of deadlines to meet. I don't think any serious lecturer will leave his work and begin to follow. So if you are a serious person, most kind of just such lecturers, they avoid you. They target their victims. They see those that are not serious, that no matter what you do, they will still fail. And I'm telling you, some submit themselves to them. See, we don't want to talk about this. If we talk about this, we'll sleep here. I'm telling you what I know. I've been in the system for a very long time to understand this. So please, in the absence of any other question, the most important thing is that you are safe here. And please, no more questions. We're out of time. This is.
Excuse me, sir. Excuse me, sir.
This is 56. Okay. Okay. Mr. Peter.
No, it's
1
Simon.
minute.
Oche Simon.
Okay, Simon.
I was trying to raise my hand.
Okay, Simon, 1 minute.
I was trying to ask question, but I was raising my hand. It was not obviously showing.
You have 30 seconds to ask your question.
It appears that quite a number of people on this program are well informed about this online program. And some of us are doing it for the first time. And it appears that it looks obviously that we must have enough gadgets, computer and this thing. For some of us who are not really equipped, how do we cope? How do we cope with this kind of, everything is done, PowerPoint, Google, it's PC and all of that. And a good phone. For some of us who are not really equipped with it, I don't know, it's intimidating, I don't know. I don't know how we do it.
You don't have to be intimidated, Simon. You have to grow. You have to grow. You have to move with the trend. You have to grow. So this is a PG program. PG program is not undergraduate. So you cannot just be crying. You have to grow.
Okay, sir.
You have to grow. Yes. So I wish you all the best. Mr. Peter, 1 minute.
Okay, sir. So actually, I've been trying to use my phone to carry out this PowerPoint presentation, but it has not been working out. I don't know the method you can assist us, at least we can able to use to present anything using our phone. Hello, sir.
It's difficult. It's difficult to use phone to, but it's possible if you have a good smartphone. To prepare the slides on the phone, I'm not sure. To prepare the slide is best with the computer. But if you can get a hold of the computer, I think it makes things easier for you. It's easier with a computer. You can have a phone, but you see, if I'm using phone, it's difficult. But with computer now, I can access everything we are doing here.
Okay, sir.
So please just try and get a computer. If you don't have, you can borrow.
It's okay, sir.
Just for the purpose of the program. Once you are done, you return it.
It's okay, sir. Thank you,
sir.
Okay,
on the way, Kato, you can go ahead. 1 minute. Okay, Tapiasi doesn't have any question anymore. So thank you very much. We'll see by 1 p.m.
By 1 p.m.
Right?
Thank you, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you, and God bless you.
God bless you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. God bless you, sir.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, thank you.